All right, everyone. So we are back playing another Fox game. We have 13 wins, 3 losses, and we need 7 more wins to rank up one time, 11 more wins to rank up twice, and 11 losses to rank down. So far, we're currently 3-0 as a 9Q, which is really cool. But we're going to play another game. And we're going to see how well we do. Now, the last game we played was against, I believe, an 8Q. And that was significantly tougher than playing against a 10Q or even that of a 9Q. So, like I said, you can't underestimate these players. These players are very strong. And, you know, just got to maintain your composure. They're playing as black, and so we shall play as white. They're going to be taking a very territorial game today, so I'm just going to have my standard opening. I don't know. This move is questionable. I don't need to respond to this, but I'm just going to back off and see what they do. They're deciding to take a huge moil. So we shall approach and break their moil up on this side. And that's interesting. Okay, well, if that's the case, then I'm just going to attach. They're going to cut. Okay. We're gonna split up the group. Interesting. And I'm just gonna go down and see what they want to do. Okay, so then we are just going to take this. Interesting. Okay. I guess we're just going to take, let's see. If we jump, they push, we cut. They have to cut us first there. Yeah. I mean, we're kind of on the third line. I'm going to push once more because I just don't like that. And we can jump. Okay. All right. And so they have a group. These 3 stones are weak. We could honey. But it's getting a little dicey. Okay, so if we honey, they decide to cut, we connect, they push, we block, right? They cut, we fix, Atari. Either Atari or go down. I think it's okay. This is gonna either make or break us, unfortunately. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. We could just play it simple or just split the groups up. Can I honey? Oh man, I want to honey so bad right now. If we play here and they decide to push, then we're just a big stick, aren't we? If we play here, they decide to cut, we Atari, they come out, we come out. Okay, so let's honey. I feel like we're okay here. And we could push down. We could connect solidly, or we could just come out. I'm thinking, you know what, just come out. Okay. Again, we're just going to push out, and now we're going to push this way. And keep the group surrounded. I have a lot of cutting points. You know what? I'm just going to keep connected. Okay. And they're still pushing. So I don't mind that they push because, you know, we're getting such great influence right here. I'm actually going to start pressing on their group here. We still have a push right here. they're gonna block. We can Hane here. We can push Hane, right? And then it's like a double Atari situation. So I'm just gonna push out. It looks like they're okay. I don't feel like approaching here. It seems too small for me now. So I might just actually take my enclosure here. The enclosure here seems pretty nice. If he turns, you know what? Let's just see. This looks a little like an overplay. That is, if he pushes, we block. He Ataris, we go down. He Ataris, we take. It still doesn't do anything. We are out, so that's super Gote. How do I want to do this now? I guess I'll just take his corner. Yep. Do I pull back? Yes, I pull back. It's gonna Hane. Oh, geez. Okay. Go down. He goes down. We go down. He Ataris. We come up, down, and then it just leads to issue. But yeah, let's do this. I feel like just separating this group here. If these two stones die, then that's fine. Interesting. Okay. Okay. We'll just kill. He's taking outside influence, which is fine. And I'm just gonna push right here. Okay, so make life kind of thing. And now we can Hane. Right? Can I double Hane? Can I double Hane? No, just keep the group separated. Okay, keep it separated. Keep it separated. Really? Okay, so I'm just coming out. And I do have a cut here that I need to be mindful of. But I'm pretty sure that this group's being surrounded is okay for me. Now he has a lot of cuts. Okay. He has a lot of cuts right now. And I'm just going to start pushing on these 3 stones here. Can I do this? Atari. Gonna push. Okay. Can I do this? Okay, snap back. Okay. Okay. These stones are dead. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we have a game, guys. Yeah. So we have a strong game. So now I'm just going to, if he plays here, we block. He pushes, we go in. Yeah, I'm just gonna take my enclosure here. High or low? Let's do a low enclosure. We'll just take enclosure. Yep, that is your right, and we shall block. We're strong everywhere, so I really don't mind him trying to live, and we're just gonna take territory. He is a 9k, right? Yes, he is. Okay, we're gonna cut this off because you're letting me. It looks like they're kind of flailing everywhere right now. Block, block. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. But this looks to be like they're trying something out. Maybe right here, Atari or Peep right here. They're trying something. So let's just surround. But I can even push here if I wanted to. This group right here down here is not alive yet. Let's see here. Do I need to do anything? Let's just jump and surround the 2 stones. Okay. Again, I'm not too worried about it. We are going to block these stones from coming into our side right here. And they are going to get cut. Okay. Now these two stones are in trouble. Okay. You don't want to be doing this, but you know what? I'm just going to... Do I need to capture those two stones? No, I don't. I could push and cut right here. And I'm going to. And I win. Okay. Well, that was a game. Yeah, just a lot of misreadings over here. He had a chance to kind of push right here, but didn't. Estimated score. We won by 106 points. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, sure. So yeah, he had a lot of play areas that I think wasn't needed. There's a lot of Gote moves, in my opinion. Let's see here. We backed off. They wanted huge Moyo, and I played this move knowing that it is a smaller move. There's a lot of other bigger moves on the board, but just me playing here. Oops, sorry, not there. Here, and then following Joseki here, and giving him this next move just seemed too generous. I mean, if you take a look, the stones are very like closely connected, and I'm terrible at invasion. So just having the idea of giving him all of this, and yes, I could take this, but it just seemed too generous. So just, you know, do fourth line influence, try to just reduce their thing. But I think the first instance of them screwing up is right here, the crosscut, and allowing me to have a living group here. That was, I think, something that they needed to kind of watch out for. Now, if we take a look, I'm splitting their 3 stones up from everybody else. They could easily just jump out and be happy with that, but I can still push. They block, and you know, I can cut and start messing around with this group. So I think that's why they try to cap these 2 stones. But again, these 2 stones aren't in Atari because this stone is already in Atari. So I was like, you know what? I have strength. These stones, even if they get cut off, they're alive. And I've already jumped out to kind of build ice shape anyways. So I was like, even if you cut me here, I'm just going to come out and start putting pressure on your left side here, because this is still a fairly weak side. And as I am developing, right? As I'm developing this, I'm just going to start jumping out and putting pressure on these 4 stones. At least that was my plan. But he did Hane, and I didn't want to overextend myself because that is an issue. Yes, I don't need to worry too much about it, but it does force me to take, and that's something that I don't necessarily want to be forced to do, because now I'm reduced in my eye shape, and it leads to this complication here, where now I have to make sure that my group is alive, and they can just keep pushing and then jump out, or even Hane right here, put my 3 stones at risk. So I just didn't want to deal with that. So I'm just going to come out. They're coming out, and again, we're just going to stay 1 step ahead. They'll push us from behind, and now I'm going to start messing around with their shape. Just stay connected, right? If I kept pushing and they cut, then, you know, I have 3 stones that seems kind of out of place. And even if they did this right here, right? This is a fairly strong move. Best way to fix this is to just connect, but then I have some forcing moves here where now I could put these 4 stones here into an issue, right? Or they can do something like this, right? Put me into a predicament, and then I would have to play here, and then it's a Liberty race, which I wasn't too keen on trying to think about this morning. So I was like, just let them live. They're out. They're happy. We can put pressure on the corner here and, you know, try to cut these stones off. And I think this is where complications arise. They are stronger here, so they you know, didn't need to do too much. They did have to Atari my stone, right? And then they did have to kind of do something like this here, where, you know, but it is a dead shape anyways. So they did a good job trying to take the outside, which I think was take outside influence, let me kill the stone, like just force me to take the stone and then just fix your cutting points right here. I think this is a very strong position for white. And if we look at the estimated score, I'm only up by like 5 points at this point, and that's including this little corner that they calculated. So, you know, just have strong shape. I can't push out, right? So I'm forced to kind of try to live right here, right? That's a Sente move, and I would have to connect, and now you're really pushing me, right? So, but didn't do that. This move again, I wanted to kind of just make eye shape. I know I have one here, but in the event that I forget and say that I try to cut and they clamp here, right? There's not really much eyes that I can do, right? To kind of, yeah, like it gets a little dicey. So I just wanted to make sure I was alive. And I actually didn't need to play there, but right here, just Hane, push, 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 and then push one more. He should have went one more, in all honesty. I push, he blocks, you know, kind of do something like this, and just take huge outside influence. I'm stuck in the center right here, and I would have to, like, I mean, look at how dangerous this wall looks. So he didn't do that. So I'm pushing, threatening to surround this whole group, as well as making a bad shape for him, which I took advantage later. He cut, right? He saw that he could cut. Again, just be mindful of what you're doing. I know I have a cut here, right? But you have a lot of bad shape. And so I'm just going to Atari. And then if we take a look at this, right? If he Ataris me, I come out, and it's kind of like self-Atari right there. If he decides to Atari this way, then this is Atari, right? You got to fix, and then I still take the 3 stones. So this is why you never want 3 in a row. But I played here. He tries to come out. Again, this is still Sente, right? This is still Sente. Because if he fixes his cut, Atari, and if he pushes out, and I push one more, and he starts cutting, right? I can, if anything, he should have just done this right here, but this is my intention of extending once more, is to kill this chain right here in a ladder, right? So even if he cuts, that's why I was adamant about extending once more. It wasn't to cap this, but since he fixed this, I got another move. So even if he caps, I just block, and you guys saw the snapback that happened, right? He tries to do this. This is a snapback. Boom. Okay, so that's B2 bomber shape, but it's also a snapback, and now my center is extremely strong. He has 3 stones that are super weak, and he's just letting me take. He didn't want these stones to die, so he's connected up, which is fine. He's trying to escape here. Again, just the jump might have been better, right? Just to kind of force me to take, and you just take outside. But this is just, yeah, this move was super gote. I'm taking enclosure, then he starts expanding, and again, the diagonals are okay, but if I push, just cut me, right? And then I'm forced to kind of do this, and then you're out. Okay. And then we're just jumping. Now here, I just wanted to play a forcing move. It also disrupts his eye shape. So if I Atari and he connects, then what's happening is I saw that, and he has to fix, right? And it's just a big stick, a really big stick right here. He could try to do something like this. I just connect back up, and, you know, he's out. But again, this is only one eye, so I would be pressing him very, very hard in this area. trying to make something happen, right? So I'm just going to start poking eye shape out right here. And he really has nowhere else to build eye shape, right? I can just block and then just kill one to the other area. So keep things connected, and he's completely surrounded. So there's really not much that he can do in this area. And you guys saw he resigned, and I won by 110 points, 106 points. So hope you guys enjoyed that. That's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.